I think Nagelsmann is wunderbar. Wunderbar.
I just think it'd be the same project that it was for Potter.
Quite like Pochettino. People going to say...
Pochettino? What?
I think he would do a better job because he has the experience of like bringing a team together. He had like Messi, Suarez, Neymar, and he got the best out of them in Barcelona.
I'd be happy as well. He's a young coach, so he has longevity. He could be with us for a while.
He's better than Potter, to be honest.
Anybody? I'm better than Potter. You're better than Potter. So. Looking ahead, if Luis Enrique was to be hired, what would your reaction be, Luis Enrique?
I don't mind it, but I looked at when he was the Spain manager and Roma, he didn't do too well. So I quite like Pochettino. People going to say...
Pochettino? What?
People say the Tottenham League. But if you look at him, played good football at Tottenham, yeah? And he did do well with a small budget, that team, and he made that team a good team. I mean, and I know they didn't go to the next level, but they didn't get the funds at the end, if you look at that. I think he's a good choice, but there's obviously the ex-Bayern Munich manager as well.
No, that was my next question. So you say no to Luis Enrique now. Nagelsmann, young manager, doing pretty well with Bayern Munich. What would your reaction be if we were to hire Nagelsmann as the manager with this squad?
I think he could do well, but it's the age and the inexperience. I think he could be similar to Potter, just another version of Potter.
But he has UCL experience. He's won titles before. He's unbeaten in the UCL, which Potter isn't. So
I think I'm not against it. I think sometimes going for European managers who don't always do well in the English Premier League, where with Pochettino, he has got that Premier League experience.
So first of all, if it's Luis Enrique, what would be your reaction if we hire Luis Enrique?
For me, better is Nagelsmann, but Enrique, his play is good for watching, It's a Spain tactic.
But do we have the players?
We have a good players, so we have right players for this tactic.
For Luis Enrique, as you said, quality football, but he needs particular players. So if we had Nagelsmann, who is not really a stuck to one philosophy, do you think maybe Nagelsmann with these sets of players would maybe work better than Luis Enrique?
Yeah, I think yes, because he's in Leipzig. Leipzig, in Poland. He has good defenders from sides.
Yes. Wing backs.
Winning back, yeah. Okay. They are playing offensive. So we have Reese, we have Chiro. There are players for that playing, So
these are my German friends. So basically, Nagelsmann. I think Nagelsmann is wunderbar. Wunderbar.
He's really good.
It's good. So in my view, I don't know what happened at the Bayern because we did a reaction on my channel, and the Bayern fans on my channel were like, they were pissed. They were angry that he was sacked. They said, why? And they just felt that was wrong.
It's an upgrade.
But we'll see. No.
It's the same, it's the same.
So the thing is, Nagelsmann has a lot of future because he's really young, and I would say if Chelsea gets...
He's younger than me.
They need to have at least 2 years here. Because it's a long-term project with Nagelsmann, and also Chelsea has a lot of young players.
So if it was Nagelsmann or Enrique, who do you think would be best for Chelsea between Nagelsmann and...
I think right now, for the moment, maybe even Luis Enrique, because he's really experienced. But if you want to look in the long term, then I would go with Nagelsmann. But then you have to really be slow with him. Maybe it's now at the moment not the best, because Chelsea need to play next year international. And if you get a manager who is really good in like 2 years, then Nagelsmann would be too late here.
For sure, I agree with this, yes.
So you think that's because my thing though is they say give Nagelsmann time. What he was doing with the Bayern was great. He beats PSG twice, he beats Inter twice, he beats Barcelona twice. And that's with...
He conceded 2 goals in the Champions League, and that's what against Victoria Pilsen.
And that's it. So I still think that we should take our time and so forth between Nagelsmann and Enrique. We don't make a mistake. But my thing though is with these sets of players, with how these players are, because we can't spend any more money because of FFP.
Yeah.
Who would do the better job with these players? Because I feel it could be Nagelsmann.
Okay, I think for sure Nagelsmann, because he's young coach and the players are young, so they have to get a future. So he needs time, they need time, they respect each other. I think he's the right one for the next, not just for this season or next season, for the next 10 years maybe.
We have 2 different managers. It could be Luis Enrique, who coached Barcelona, coached Spain, and it's also Julian Nagelsmann as well. So if you were in charge, let's say you're in charge right now, who would you pick to take over at Chelsea? Nagelsmann or Luis Enrique?
Luis Enrique.
Oh my God. Okay, why? Because I'm thinking Nagelsmann. So why Luis Enrique?
He played well with Barcelona.
But we don't have a Neymar, we don't have Messi, we don't have Suarez. So do you think he'll be able to have the same kind of impact he had on Barca with us as well?
I think he can. Chelsea has such a good squad depth. I think he can make it work.
Looking ahead, Nagelsmann or Luis Enrique? These are the two different managers. We have Luis Enrique. He won the treble with Barca, with Spain. Nagelsmann, younger coach, dynamic. If you were in charge, who would you choose between Nagelsmann and Enrique?
Nagelsmann.
Interesting. So why Nagelsmann?
Because I just think he's done really well at Bayern.
So you think it was unfair that he was sacked at Bayern?
Yeah.
So there are two managers now that are a possibility that could be coming over. So I'm going to give you two names. So first of all, if Luis Enrique was to take over treble with Barcelona, took Spain to the Euros semis, if it was Luis Enrique, what would the reaction be if Luis Enrique was hired as manager?
So, he isn't a bad signing, to be honest. If we should get Enrique, we know we're getting a serial winner. Do you know what I mean? Someone who's got that track record of winning. So it would be a good signing, yeah.
And also someone that has more experience rather than being at Brighton or Svenska Cupen in Sweden, like that Harry Potter dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So if it's Julian Nagelsmann, young coach, he's younger than myself, Bayern Munich, doing things, he's seen as the new young maverick. If it was Julian Nagelsmann, what would your reaction be if it was Nagelsmann?
He's better than Potter, to be honest.
Anybody, I'm better than Potter. You're better than Potter. So
Great. So Julian is I would prefer, Luis Enrique because he's been tried and tested. But Julian's not a bad signing at all. Better than Potter, and he's taking us mid-season. The expectations aren't going to be higher. At least we know we're going to finish about 10th. Probably not getting to Champions League, but we'll do better than we're doing now.
Guys, you've got Luis Enrique and you've got Nagelsmann. So let's first, if Luis Enrique was to take charge, he won a treble with Barcelona. He coached Spain, took them to the Euro semis. If Luis Enrique was to take charge, what would your reaction be?
Honestly, I'd be pretty happy about it. He's a great coach, and I think he could lead us to glory next season.
Glory as in a treble?
Maybe not a treble.
No, a treble.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I mean, I think he'd get us a trophy next year, definitely.
Nagelsmann, young coach, he's younger than myself, did good stuff with Bayern Munich. If it was Nagelsmann in charge, what would your reaction be if it was Nagelsmann?
I'd be happy as well. He's a young coach, so he has longevity. He could be with us for a while. I mean, he was great with Bayern, and there was just difficulties there as to why he was fired there. But, yeah, I think he'd do great for us.
So between Nagelsmann and Enrique, who would you choose if you had to choose between those two?
I would say Enrique, mainly because he just has more experience.
Two names, it's Enrique and Nagelsmann. Let's start with Enrique. If Luis Enrique was to come in, what would your reaction be? Do you think with these players, with this squad and so forth, Luis Enrique would be able to get the best out of this team?
Between them, I think that would be my tough choice. I would pick Enrique just because of the experience that he's had, the career he's had.
But do you think with this squad of players, we can't spend any more because we've got the whole FFP, so we can't spend any more players. With this talent, what Enrique is, can he be successful with this roster?
I think that's a tough one because it's a young team as well that hasn't played together, they haven't gelled together. I think he would do a better job because he has the experience of like bringing a team together. He had like Messi, Suarez, Neymar, and he got the best out of them in Barcelona. There's like three big egos if you want to call them together. So I would think that it would be a pretty decent replacement considering what we have available in the market.
So what about Nagelsmann? He's worked with Vivel previously before, so he has history there with the scouting network. He's a young manager. He's very malleable. He's not married to a philosophy, so he has a plan B, a plan C. He works with wing backs. Would a Nagelsmann work, or do you think he may be too inexperienced and too young for this team?
Yeah, it's the thing with Chelsea, just because we're a bit more cutthroat, I guess. I don't know if he is the right person to take us forward. He definitely has like the resume to he built the teams up at Red Bull Leipzig, and then obviously in Bayern Munich as well in a way. He was unbeaten in the Champions League.
Unbeaten.
Losing Lewandowski, the generational striker.
Beats PSG twice, Barca twice, Inter twice.
It wouldn't be a bad choice, but I guess just if I had to pick between the two, I would go Enrique or Nagelsmann.
Nagelsmann. Bayern manager, did well with Bayern. He's very young, dynamic, new. He's a long-term manager. If Nagelsmann was hired, what would your reaction be if Nagelsmann was hired as the manager?
I just think it'd be the same project that it was for Potter. That's what he looks like. He's young, he's 35. Yes, he's done well at Bayern. He got sacked for being a point behind Bayern, got him through to a quarter-final. And the only thing that would work well for him would be having the young players that we've got now. Look at the squad. There's only maybe you got Kante, 30-something. Thiago Silva, 38.
Yeah.
Dave, that's going on 38. It's 37, 38. But we can't replace them. We've replaced them with Badia Shield, doesn't play. The likes of Trevor Chalobah don't even get in the squad. Where are these players? Why are these players not fitting in? Where's the regime? Where are we going in a sense of are we building to be an Arsenal like they were 2 years ago? Yeah. Or are we building on the culture that we've been built on for 20 plus years, and that is have a team there, win trophies. If the manager don't win a trophy,